LDNRBS. We have another special guest in the building, none other than Mr. Legacy. Let's give him a clap over here. Most definitely. And I will say, one of the hardest working people out here, most definitely.
I appreciate it.
Most definitely. So for anyone that doesn't know who you are, talk to him.
Mr. Legacy, events organizer, clothing line owner, and like there's more out there, but I like people to find out as the time goes by, or even as the interview goes by. They'll find out more.
We definitely are going to get into it in this interview. This is LDNRBS, so we definitely are going to find out exactly what it is with you. So tell me about where you come from. So I know you weren't born in England either.
No.
So where'd you come from?
Born and raised in Angola. I moved to Portugal when I was about 8 years old. Yeah, I lived in Portugal for about 6.5 years, and then
we have 2 Portuguese natives, and you know I was gonna say it. We have. I'm surprised you got this. You've been here a while, and we didn't even realize that. We got 2. They're just gonna speak Portuguese from now on for the next conversation.
Should we try?
Yeah, please speak Portuguese, you guys. Go on.
Tudo bem, tu?
Oh my God.
Come on, PG. Okay.
Yeah. So
actually, we were speaking about this before. You made a good point. You said when you came here, you found that people would refer to you like.
Yeah, you know what?
Freshie.
The funny thing is, like, people call me Freshie because obviously I couldn't speak the language properly. You know what I mean? And then it's like, where I'm from is like, I come from a background where people speak. There's families where we speak 3 different languages. You know what I mean? And then
bilingual.
Yeah, you know, most of the people that I used to meet here used to be like, okay, cool. You're calling me fresh because I can't speak a language.
Ignorant.
But what language can you speak apart from English? I mean,
I mean, are you guys getting triggered? We're out here like speaking more than one language, yo. Like, come on.
I've always wanted to speak more than language. I can't lie.
I feel like that is a struggle that sometimes keeps people more quiet. They feel like it's a barrier that they can't overcome, and it takes longer. Sometimes that can hit your confidence. So how did you feel in your confidence?
To be honest, like with that thing, I still kept being myself because like from young I've always been like that loud kid. I mean, I've always been like the person that wants to be like the life of the party, like I was saying earlier. Like,
but you could now be the life of the party in 3 different ways.
you know, it's actually 5, bro.
He's flexing.
Talk that talk.
You know, it's like so I just kept being me. Like I didn't really let much of that affect me because like every time, even when I went to Portugal, I had to adapt because in Portugal I used to have like a problem where some kids would never want to speak to me or even get close to me because they had this thing about this guy just came from Africa, he's got something with him. Do you get what I mean? So literally it's one of them things where like it's something that was with me from time. Do you know
so
I mean?
you developed like
the
tough
time
skin
to get annoyed or even to get upset over those things, they were gone.
Okay.
So every time someone would attack me with anything like about the way I speak, the way I look or anything like that, it wouldn't really affect me no more because I always say this, what goes around comes back around.
Yes.
And a lot of people that literally criticizing me today, tomorrow they'll look for me.
Knocking on your door.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Do you feel like, because one thing I definitely can tell with what you do, it's everywhere. You could tell you really do work hard to get the name in a lot of places. Now, do you think a lot of that mentality comes from where you're from originally?
You know, it comes from like family, innit? Like obviously growing up African, you know, African household, black household, you know, there's always that when we as African kids, like black kids, we already born into like pressure where we already have the society that have to accept us, and then we have the family that have to accept us because we have this thing where like if you don't do this, if you don't become that in your life, or if you don't complete this degree or whatsoever, you're not going to be this, you're not going to be that. You're just going to be a nobody. I mean, so for coming from those pressures, that's when I decided, you know what, let me try to do something out of the box. Let me try to think of something outside the classroom, because this is the thing. Like, I'll be honest with people and say, like, sitting in the office in front of a computer is not me. I'll be honest with you and say, like, even with the job that I do now, sometimes when they make me sit in places where there's just me and the computer, I can't. I'm just someone that I can't stay still for too long. If I stay still for too long, I need to start moving in that. So, yeah, so that, but then I used to think one thing as well, like, I remember this is what one teacher in Portugal told me when I was about the year that I left Portugal. There was a teacher that used to come to me all the time and say, like, if you ever thought about trying performing arts or entertainment, because you are an entertainer, if you ever thought about getting into that, and then when I moved here, I kind of put that away from me. But then when I went to uni and I start like, because the way we started was this, like, I went to uni in Leeds. And when I got to Leeds, there was no really like Afro-Caribbean parties like that.
Of course.
There was like, you could go to events, you're going to hear R&B and everything. Them times there, I'll be honest, I was fresh because like, if I go to a party where they don't play Afrobeat, I'm actually going to just sit there.
Ciao.
Or just like, yeah, that's it, boom, bye, bye. There was like, I'm going to leave, do you know what I mean? And then I thought, you know what, I want to go to a party where they play music that I listen to. They play music that I grew up to.
Yeah.
So after my boy Diamond had his first video shoot, we saw the reception on the after party. So we thought, you know what, let's start something. So we started doing regular nights. But then when we started in the area. You know what? When students go to, like, for example, if you go to uni, people literally just stick to the city centre. But we started doing events on the side of Leeds where people wouldn't go. And then gradually, as we built our name and build, like, because think about it, we was managing to get people, like students, to come to the area where they wouldn't go to. Because students, all they know is like town centre.
Yeah.
But now we're getting them to come to the other part where the locals live. And after we built a name, we managed to get ourselves now to the city centre. And then we done about three different venues. And then because 3 of us used to work security, we managed to get a deal with the O2 Academy in Leeds. And then I think we done like 3 sold out events there.
Talk that talk.
Yeah, we done 3 sold out events. And then obviously, as the things were building up, like, you know how it goes, like when you work in a group, groups don't really last.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see from like bands, you can see from dance crews, they don't really last. So like, but then it got to a point where even though I was enjoying what I was doing, I still felt like there's something more that I could deliver. So first, when I first started the Legacy Nation movement, it started first as a model agency. You know what I mean? Because like my boy being an artist, we doing events and everything. We always wanted like to find females that can work as a hostess for events.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? Instead of always going out there to look, let me start something in-house. But even having a model agency running, I was still not happy. I was still not like, it's like I was still not fulfilling what I wanted. So I thought, why not start a movement that can benefit everyone? And that's when I started looking and thinking to myself, like, I moved back from Leeds to London. Then I started seeing like a lot of my friends been doing music from school days. A lot of my friends.
What year was it that you moved back to London?
2015.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so I started seeing like a lot of my friends do music. A lot of my friends do like acting and things like that. So I thought, you know what, let's do something more productive. So that's when we started the events which focus on upcoming musicians, dancers, spoken word poetry, comedy. And we had I remember my first event in London was in January 2017, and that event, I'll be honest to say, like, it was an event where I wish I knew some things I know now I knew then.
Like what?
In terms of like finance for an event and promotion for an event and everything, because literally it was an event where we had so many acts, but we didn't really get like the crowd that we wanted. But even with that loss, don't get me wrong, it's a loss that literally hit me. And that's why moving forward I decided to always do events and then finance it myself, because I just think to myself, like, if someone is to give me, I don't know, for some people, like some people, they can receive something and make something out of it. But me personally, it's like, if someone is to give me something today, I'm not going to value it as much as like if it's coming from my own hardware. So for example, me doing an event and losing money, I'll think to myself, like, you know what, next event now, I need to find a way to double that money. Do you get what I mean? And then obviously, like, I went through the period I was upset over the event, but then I thought, you know what, the name Legacy already made enough noise just for one event. We can't just stop here. And then I remember that same year, I believe I done 3 more events. So I done a fashion show, and that was my very first fashion show as well. Doing it by myself.
How was that? How was the fashion show?
First show was good. It was actually good because obviously once again we went on to look for like upcoming brands as well, like a way to promote them. Because I just think to myself, like, you know what, it's easier if we all come together and work together than to always be like, because people in this game, they always want to take it as a competition. Like I say to people many times, I say again, I'm not competing with anyone.
Big time.
I mean,
You know how to come on the mic when you spoke like this. So I had to do it. It's Ty from LDNRBS. I had to speak when you said this. But go on.
Nah, it's true, bro. Like literally, like I said, I say to a lot of people, I don't work for anyone. I don't compete with anyone. I work with you. I build with you. I mean, so that's why we decided every event that we do, from networking event, from fashion shows, we're going to focus on people that are upcoming and people that don't really get much mainstream media out there. Because look at us, we in London. How many? Tell me now. If I ask in the room here, how many friends have you got that are either working to start a business, working to get into music, going to anything? Like, how many have you got? Plenty. I mean, and then, but what are we actually doing for these friends? Hardly nothing. We are all waiting for these people to blow, in order to like give something for them. And like, you're waiting for that person to be on MTV for you to be calling and say, I used to know him, or I used to chat to him, or he was on my DMs. Do you know what I mean? So that's what people are waiting for. So
would you say that this is what inspires you?
I'll say what inspires me is literally my background, where I'm from and everything. And obviously what inspires me, just like, I'll say a lot of people inspire me. Like, I've got different people that inspire me, from people that are doing business, from people that are doing music. Like, literally is a whole variety of people that inspire me. And those are the same people that push me to do what I'm doing today.
And let's go to what you are doing today. You got, to be honest, when it comes to awards in this country, I've always been put off by awards, mainly, especially down to a lot of mainstream ones, because I always feel like it doesn't represent what it really is. Shout out to Ariana Grande, because she actually said this not too long ago. When I saw her interview, what she said, I thought, I rate that girl for what she said in terms of awards shows. Now, we obviously have accumulated a few more like rated awards and stuff like that, but it's, in my opinion, and I speak from what I want to speak from, and I say what I want, and like, when it comes down to it, I don't know if it's still my type of award show where I feel like it is across the board for everyone. But the man I'm standing in front of right now, or sitting in front of right now, has created his own. Talk to us about it.
When it comes to awards, it's literally like, I think that was too loud. Sorry, that's just me and my normal habitat. No. You know what? I'll go by the same thing that you said. Like, I was getting fed up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have nothing against the people that made it, because end of the day, it's like, we all know the struggle of making it into something, and then I always clap for anyone. Do you know what I mean? Whether you're a big man that received a pay rise, or you've been, someone that
with Drake,
literally, I'll clap for anyone that's made it. But then I thought to myself, like, you know what? Back to what I was saying, is I look him up. I got friends that have been running successful business for years. You know what I mean? And then they don't get the recognition they deserve. And literally, we got people like yourselves. These radio show, it's like literally, I see the number of followings, I see the events you guys have been doing and whatsoever, but I don't see you guys getting the
LDNRBS
promotion out there. I'm actually looking for stuff.
Just before you say that too, and thank you mainly too. The interesting thing you say about that is, only last year there was an award show that come out to do with live events, where they had categories, and they had 5 events that have clearly half the numbers that we have at our shows. From that moment on, I realized it's not really about it's not really about who's actually doing things. It's almost about who's my friend.
Everything's perception, isn't it?
Exactly. It's perception.
That's what I did. So that's why I decided, you know what? Let me actually see how much like backing do people have from their friends. So that's why we decided to, which people are, obviously, you always get criticism for whatever you do. I've been receiving criticism because people are like, oh yeah, instead of you going through all these nominations on thingy on Instagram, and then later going for online, why didn't you just select this many people? I'm like, no, because I could have gone and done an event based on people that performed for me before. I could have done an event based on people I know, but then I thought there's more to explore. We live in London. What's the population in London? And I was actually shocked with the reception that this got.
Oh my gosh, the reception that this show has got is being immense.
It's been mad.
It seems like every single time you guys post something, it seems like the whole scene is jumping on that
put
page.
It this way, I remember saying to myself, like, okay, I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna post the categories, and I bet any money that I'm gonna get to my business Insta, and everything's gonna be empty. I mean, wallahi, as soon as I go to the Instagram,
You know if someone's real when they say wallahi.
as soon as I go to the Instagram, I remember like that whole week, them 3-4 days.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was flying out the next day. When I was on holiday, I thought, let me check my Insta. And when I saw the notification, the amount of people tagging me, the amount of DMs I was having, I was like, wow. And it's like, made me realize how much talent is out there. Because even when I look at some people's pages and that, because I always pray. And I was seeing the people that were tagging themselves, and I'm like, oh, you actually got something like good in here. Do you know what I mean? So like, so this award was basically like, number wants to see like how much backing would me as legacy if I was to put myself into something. Would my friends be behind me and tag me and want to see me succeed, or will my friend just brush it off? And funny enough is the reception was good, and then we now close the nomination. So we're going from there. We're going for online voting, which is coming soon. And then just like I said, it's been a surprise.
Quick question, just for the people out there, what type of categories do you have in your award?
Bro, let me pick up.
He wants to go get the documents. He's taking the documents out.
Yeah, it's like I'm in home office right now. Show the papers now. No, it's Brexit now, but easy.
Trust me, I know.
Cool. So so we're gonna go from there's the best upcoming producer. There is best fashion designer. So as you know, a lot of us have clothing lines, and clothing line became a big thing now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we go.
You say forget Gucci, yeah?
Nah, forget them.
No more Gucci.
No more Prada. I'll be honest with you, I don't even wear design.
Yeah.
If you ever see design on my body, just know that I didn't go out there and spend for it. I'll be honest, I didn't go out there and spend for it. Someone else gave it to me. You know what I mean? So so
I
we
want
got
friends like that. Give me stuff like that.
Right. So we got the influence of the year. So we got the whole.
When you say that comes under so many different categories.
Yeah.
Okay, influencer comes from people that are actually influencing. I'm not trying to say no shots, but a lot of influencers that seen with 20k, 100k followers, all they actually influencing people to do is just to actually try to get clothing for free.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's true.
Just want to be one of them people that you, like, for example, when I started my clothing line, my DMs went crazy because I remember everyone, all of a sudden, everyone's a model. Everyone's coming to me like, oh, yeah, you know what? If you send me this, I'll promote. If you send me this, I'll promote. And I'm like to people, you know what? I don't even want you to promote my clothing. I want you to promote my pocket.
Yeah.
Literally, if you want to promote anything, you promote my pocket. If you like my jumpers, if you like my hoodies or whatsoever, send me the money and I'll send you the hoodie. I mean, so we got the influencer of the year. Then we got the entrepreneur of the year. So
cough, cough.
I like that.
Cough, cough.
Yeah, so we also go.
That's the self award, right?
Trust me, I'm telling you. Where can he vote? Where can he vote for
You
himself?
can't vote for me. If you vote for me, you might get blocked from voting. There we go. Best female model.
Oi.
Best female model. So basically,
how is that voted though? That's all I want.
Okay, cool.
You mean how do I put myself forward?
Yeah,
That's what you mean.
Not me.
You pick up.
I'm saying like
He means
Yeah, I
himself.
saw his grin.
You go to my profile, to the Legacy Nation ENT profile,
And send 10 million
and send
messages.
to people, send 10 million messages to people like, yo, tag my name into this picture. I mean, so yeah, so
damn, I
it's
missed
basically like it's basically like based on what events I did. So because I done a fashion show, it's only right to nominate the best model, and then comes best blogger.
Okay.
yeah, man.
Then comes best male artist, best poet, best dancer, and this is the one that gave us the biggest headache, the best female artist.
Oh, right.
Ooh.
Why?
Listen,
Why? Aye.
no, this is the one. This is the post that gave us the most headache because best female artist had nearly 2,000 comments.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Imagine going through that.
Yeah, imagine I had to do it manually.
I don't know what you be doing. It 2,000. Have you actually gone through it?
Bro, I had to go through it. It took me
Oh
about 3 hours to go through everything, and then literally.
I thought you were offering.
I'm not. Sorry.
Have you done it? Because I can do it.
It came too late. Yeah, so we go best female, then we go best presenter. Best.
Shout out to Naim Corosero or Ty over here.
Wait.
We got best comedian,
I'm gonna nominate myself.
You know who we got, guys. Can I do a shout out to myself?
Then we got the best DJ,
Oh, that's a good one.
best music group. That's the last one.
Yeah, you
Quick
literally
question:
cover
when you
a
say
lot,
DJ, is it
cover a
real
lot.
DJs like vinyl, or is it real DJs
Real
like vinyl?
DJ. Real DJ. I'm not
We
talking
need that,
about
man.
no-
We need it. It's
Real
coming back.
DJ, man.
We need it. It's coming
Vinyls
back.
and everything else there. You understand?
Vinyls are coming back, you know.
They've been there.
Yeah, so those are the categories that we go for the first show. Because we feel like, because it's the first show, we don't really want to go extra now. So we're going to go based on things that we've done before. So we done music events or open mics and that. So it's only right to have best music group, best DJ and whatsoever. And then this week itself, I thought about bringing out the best producer because I was just looking into it and thinking,
They don't get enough
yeah,
recognition.
and
Like
literally they're the ones
People
that
only
make the
see
music
their
happen.
names like at the end of a song or something.
Yeah,
Like,
literally.
and the
nah.
thing is, like, if there was no producer, there's no music.
Exactly.
Who's your top 5 producers right now?
Ugh, that's pressure.
Ooh.
That's
Boy.
pressure.
That's
pressure.
Nah, but it's true.
No,
like,
go
so
on,
come-
go on.
Give me top
go
5.
on.
Okay, I'll go for the guy that I consider my favorite artist and favorite producer. I'll say Malik Berry.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Ooh.
Now I'm gonna go for people that hear the songs that they do.
Mhm.
So we got ATG. We also got, obviously, I got my boy Orchestra, who's artist,
Yeah.
producer, model. That guy's all
Okay,
over.
he's doing everything. He's
Yeah,
winning that. He's
the
winning
guy-
that award. He's
Got-
going
he's
for
got
that.
all the categories
He's got all the
there, mate.
categories.
Got
He's
all
going
the
for entrepreneur.
bro.
Entrepreneur.
I'm sure his name's gonna be on all three. Do you know what I mean? But yeah,
got
then
the
we got
model.
I don't know.
That's what,
I got J Rocks.
Oh yeah,
J-Rox is really good.
damn.
Of course. So, hey, his
Did
latest
you get a
tunes.
ticket? No.
Latest tunes banging.
And you know what? There's too many.
Yeah.
Bro, there's too
You got
many.
one more.
One more.
One more.
Give me an old school producer.
Old school producer. A UK one. I'll be honest with you and say, like, people gonna hate me for this.
Go on.
Oh.
I didn't really start getting to UK music until I started doing
I'm joking,
events.
I'm
Do
joking.
you get me? And I told you, like, from
Alright,
the time.
US.
Okay, I'll be honest with you and say, from the time I was young until I started doing the events in 2015, I was strictly into African music.
But
That's
that's
Afrobeats.
cool.
I
though.
was just
Kizomba.
I was just, yeah, of course, you know, Kizomba could do.
Hold on. There's little Portuguese love going on over here. They're keeping it to themselves.
No. Kizomba basically is
Trust me,
is the
listen.
music from my country.
You don't understand. You don't
But
understand.
I'll be honest with you and say, like, listen,
Joking.
Yeah, go on.
anyone that is
You
not
guys got
familiar
the
with
best
Kizomba,
music. Yeah, you got the best music.
anyone that's not familiar with Kizomba,
They don't have passion.
do not let any man dance that with your wife.
Yes, tell them.
Right, that sounded like a threat to everyone.
No, bro,
Like a
literally. No,
straight-
it's not. It's not even
Nah,
thingy.
just
It's a thing where, like,
trust
do
me.
not let anyone dance with your wife.
Yeah.
I'll say the last producer. You know what? I'll let you guys choose the last producer. 'cause
Yeah, go on.
can't
I
think
feel
of
like
it
you.
my head.
Oh,
Go on.
Producer who
Or
changed.
should I go through
the
my
bit-
comments?
What? I say Timberland.
Timberland.
Okay.
Yeah, but we.
There was a-
Okay.
there- there- there-
I thought you asking me about upcoming
looking for
producers.
where-
Oh,
I mean,
obviously, up and coming.
If you
I
used to
said
say
top
like
5
nah,
producers.
if you used to say like up the ones that are out there, then yeah, obviously the list is big.
The list is
But
heavy.
because I thought you talking about, you know, people that came across the ones that obviously they're not known.
No,
That's
okay.
what you said.
Nah, but I was listening to him.
My pick would be Mr. Ones,
Oh,
who actually did produce all of the songs that Cadet made. So yeah,
Oh, A1.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's good. Yeah. So I'll keep that as my field.
I'm gonna ask you this question that everyone asks.
gone.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
That question.
I have to.
You know,
Come
it's, okay. I'll be honest with you. Say like, no one knows tomorrow. That's the first thing.
on. Yeah.
So I could say the thing is, like, due to the fact that my journey kind of changed, because before, when I was about 18 or whatever, 18, 17, that 5 years time I used to say I'm going to be working in this office, doing this and doing that, and then by the time I was 21, that whole changed. So when it comes to 5 years time, I see myself like, I see obviously my events being regular. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously we done in the space of 2 years, we hosted 8 events, and now to which we decided to limit ourselves to 2 to 3 events a year now.
Wow.
So obviously I can see like,
Quick question:
Yes.
what's the capacity? What's the maximum capacity?
depends. We go different events, different venues.
Yeah. So what's the biggest that you've had?
I'll say the biggest so far was my fashion show, like in October, and that was actually the most stressful event to put in the zone. Like, literally,
I would know, man. I would know. It's stress,
bro.
It is stress.
I would know stress.
You know what's like? You know what? Funny thing is, like, that was a whole 7 weeks of preparation.
Really?
So rehearsals, finding the venue, and then to the point where I remember our first venue cancelled us a week before the event. I remember I was in my house. I spoke to the lady about 2 hours before. It was all confirmed. I sent the deposit, and then just to get to my house, and when I was on the phone to my friend that was doing the event with me, I look at the email because I wanted to go pre the emails. Then I see an email saying that the venue manager decided to cancel our event. So I'm thinking, like, I got 1 week.
But disclose the reason? Or?
Yeah, like, literally, okay, when I went to the meeting with them and the initial email, I told them, like, my emails always give the full view. I told them, there's going to be a live performances. This is what's going to happen. These so many brands are taking part. And then to the point where we agreed, we shook hands away. Then when I started my online promotion, first the venue didn't want me to have my own DJ. They want to have their own DJ. That was the first thing where I was like, ooh, because DJ Edson is my guy. DJ Edson is the guy that's been riding with me from day. So the second thing was, now they start making an issue about the live performances, to the point where I said, like, if you read the email and when I saw you face to face, I told you that there's going to be a live performance. And then next thing became, I'm doing online promo. So I should have been doing online promo using the name, and I'm like, hold on, I paid you guys. You know what I mean?
But how did you bounce back from that?
Literally, I went to this. There was another venue that I knew about in Lewisham. So I remember my boy came to pick me up that night, and we drove all the way to Lewisham. I spoke to the venue owner. We came to an agreement, and then but then building up to the event, it was obviously the stress where initially we was meant to have about 13 brands for this event, and we ended up with only 6 because every brand, all them 6 brands, they dropped out. Literally, 1 dropped out on the day of the event, 2 dropped out within that week. It's like within that week, everyone remembered that they're having issue with the suppliers, or they're having these family issues or whatsoever. And then that meant I was about to introduce my new brand that day. So that meant I had to go pick up old stuff from my first line. I had to contact my boy as well. And then literally became the thing where, as I get to the venue now, another issue was short-staffed. So you had me doing the work of 10 men by myself. Like, if you saw me that night, you would have called me a madman.
God was walking
Did you
with
have a trim though?
Of course. No.
He was on my expired trims before.
So as long as you got a trim, everything is calm.
Let me tell you one
Everything
thing.
is calm.
I'll tell you one thing. One thing about me is, even this used to happen even in Leeds. When is the day of the event? There's only 2 occasions that I get to sit, where I get to sit when I'm on a barber chair, which is the first thing. Even if I have to go there first thing when I wake up, I get to sit on the barber chair. And then the next time I'll sit is after the event.
100%.
Because literally, the moment I go to the barbers, come to my house, have a shower, get ready, whatsoever, the moment I leave, you won't see me until the event is done. Because I'll be up and down. Literally, there's so many things to do. But I did have a trim. That's the waves were on point and everything.
I champion what you're doing, man. Literally, you know what?
100%.
It seems like you're joining a lot of creative people, a lot of people that aren't even being seen, a lot of people that are putting a lot of hard work in and never really getting recognition, and you're bringing light to it.
The funny thing is, the funny thing was, like, I have people that have never met me. People managed to, because it was just recently that I started promoting my personal page on the legacy page, and I had people following me, and then people coming to me and say, like, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is something that we need.
100%.
You're doing it for the people, like, this is something new. And it's like, I'm receiving so many messages, so many feedback on the legacy page and then my own personal page. And I'm like, I've never seen this person before, but this is someone that, even though they don't know me, they've seen what I've been doing. They've been following my journey, and then actually give me props and appreciate what I'm doing. And that's just what makes me, like, feel overwhelmed, because we're making a change. And obviously for me, it's like this, even if it's an event where I do it by myself, I just want to say it as we, because without the crowd, without the performers, even if you're someone that, your promotion game is not as strong or whatsoever, without the performers, and without anyone that has reposted the flyer, this wouldn't be happening.
1000%.
So that's why it's always when it comes to legacy, it's a we thing. It's not a Mr. Legacy thing. It's not a Legacy Nation thing. It's a we. We are all working together to making a change.
And on that note, Mr. Legacy, legendary interviews. Give him a clap over here, people. Most definitely. And you see, when it comes to LDNRBS and it comes to other creatives, like Mr. Legacy said himself, we all join together and we make things happen. LDNRBS way. Hey.